Hello. Welcome to the John and Joe Sports Show. I'm John.
I'm Joe.
That's the most emotion we're going to show this show because we're very saddened and heartbroken after last night's Cardinals defeat to the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, that was awful.
It was.
Could we skip to the second half of the show?
Yes. Freeze our images a la Around the Horn and we'll just move on. For those of you watching, thanks. And you'll notice that Joe here has on a snapback Green Bay Packers hat, retro style. Look at that.
There it is.
Zoom in on that, cameraman. Zoom in on it. Zoom in. See that? That's
Look
nice.
Look. There we go.
Whoa.
There it is.
That's beautiful.
I found it. I dug it out.
Where was it?
It was in my
closet. You don't like me asking.
It's in my mom's closet underneath a bowling pin. There's a bowling pin in my closet. It was like a turtle for the not like an actual turtle, you know, for like a car, like you put on top of the roof for vacation. It was a soft turtle. It was under that.
Yes.
A blanket. I don't know. There were lots of things, and I'm like, oh, there it is. And yes.
So your mom's closet is like the Barney bag. You just reach in there and you grab out. You don't even know it's going to come out.
That's it. But yes, so I'm pleased to find it, and now I could fit in here at the U.
I believe my father has a retro New York Giants snap. I'm going to have to look for that.
Yeah, do that.
Because I can't go with Yankees because they don't, they don't have retro hats. Somebody was wearing a retro Yankees hat. Why? They're not, no. Don't do it.
Yeah, you can't really do it.
There's some teams that retro just doesn't work for. They're one of them. You look foolish. And I would like to tell that person they look foolish. But that is not why we're here. We're here to talk sports. Regardless of what we're wearing and what others think is good to wear. We can't be the judge of that.
I look ridiculous. I can't even look at myself.
There's no way to put it on.
I know. I can't even look
It's
at
unfortunate.
myself.
I cannot pull off a backwards hat. I can't pull it off at all. Some people can. Some people you wear them like, oh, okay. I'm not one of those people.
No, exactly. I agree. And
I try to be. I wear a Yankees hat at Sam's Club, flat brimmed, put up. That's not me. People probably see me. What the hell is he doing?
Exactly. That's exactly right. So,
Plus,
there we go.
a problem with this is we're Caucasians, and we're supposed to wear hats like hats are meant to be worn.
Yes. And
like this.
That's the way we could pull it off.
Yes.
Like this.
We look normal. That's fine.
See?
Speaking of hats, the World Series.
Perfect segment.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yes.
For those of you that aren't aware, the World Series is going on right now. We're in the precipice of it. We're in the middle, something like that. The World Series. Game 4, I know, was the worst rated televised Game 4 in the history of the World Series, Joe. The history of the World Series. The World Series has been going on a little while. You know?
Yeah.
But
yes.
that's impressive. I didn't know people would rather watch the Saints shellac the Colts than watch a baseball game. It's unfortunate.
Yes, that's true, and and that's really sad because the Cardinals keep getting caught in the lowest rated World Series. Okay, 2006 was the lowest rated World Series, and now the lowest rated Game 4 of all time. It's terrible. Like, I find it terrible. I went to the Donkey last night.
Yes.
And they didn't have the game on either of the TVs. I think they had the football. Yeah, they had the Ravens, Jaguars.
Well, that was a game, though.
We'll get to that. Oh wow!
Do we have to?
Eventually, we have to talk. We can't hold off. So yeah, so that's on. I think like Dancing with the Stars is on the other channel, or like something. And I'm just like, really? At a bar, you can't even get the World Series on one TV. That was ridiculous, but that tells it all. I mean, no one cares.
No one cares.
I mean, no one really cared last year either, but at least, you know, you have Texas and you have San Francisco, you've got the big state of Texas, you have the big state of California, and so at least you have those, you know, people interested in it. This you have Texas, but you also have St. Louis, Midwest.
Those
the
states,
people in
like, you forget about when
right.
you're doing your USA maps, like name the 50 states. The Northeast is great. Southeast you can get, and then you go in the middle, you just lose sense of direction. Where are we? Where's North and South Dakota? I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I know that Cardinal fans are great, and everyone in St. Louis is rooting for the Cardinals. I mean, obviously, and I'm there with you. But just nobody cares, and it's really unfortunate for like such a game that used to be such a big deal. It just seems like an afterthought. If the Yankees or the Phillies or the Red Sox or any of these teams aren't in it, no one cares to watch it. Whereas in like other sports, Super Bowl, whoever's in it, it could be the Browns versus the Jaguars. And that couldn't happen because they're both in the AFC, but I just named two terrible teams off the top of my head. But yeah, it could be, and everyone will be watching. Like it's just, you know, I just think it's sad.
Jay Adonde had a good point on Twitter. The World Series wasn't even trending yesterday, but what was trending was the McRib. More people were talking about a sandwich than the World Series of Major League Baseball. So that pretty much puts a great sum. That tells the story of the World Series, that people care more about a very distasteful sandwich than they do about the World Series.
Yeah, it's a shame because the World Series, for those of you who probably don't know, has been pretty entertaining at times. I mean, sometimes there's been terrible baseball played, you know, there have been some bad calls, but the games, with the exception from Game 3, they've been close and they've been really exciting and nerve-wracking. So, I mean, it's been maybe not the best baseball at times, but it has been exciting. So I'm just gonna keep saying this. I mean, I'm not saying that I was watching the Giants Rangers last year. I would not be watching this World Series if the Cardinals weren't in it. But it really is. It's just sad how across the board, just no one cares about the World Series if these big teams aren't in it.
I turned it on yesterday, and one of the major reasons was the Monday Night Football game was
horrid.
There's not even a word. We can't come up with a word to even describe how awful the game was. So I had it on just for that fact, and I caught the last couple innings, which was unfortunate as well. But both teams are. This is one of the better World Series. Unfortunately, for the common fan, they like to see the big names, the LeBron Jameses, if you will, even though he'll choke in the fourth quarter. But even though the Cardinals kind of did that yesterday, they had like a LeBron-esque 7th, 8th, and 9th.
They did. They've done that twice this series, unfortunately.
Hello! Anyway, we can talk about last night's game. Game 5, Texas, warm. I think it was warm.
Yeah, it's definitely warmer than St. Louis.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So the Cardinals lost 4-2. Big hit from Napoli.
Yeah.
Should have cleared the bases, except I don't know what the guy in first was doing. He should have just kept running.
Yep.
Ron Washington went on a run. He didn't, though. He was tired.
I am sick of seeing the wash.
The dance?
Yes.
All of his...
Every time they do something, they have to show Joe Buck has to go to the
Can we make this on our reel? Like when we make our reel for the I think that'll look real good to businesses, us doing a Ron Washington dance.
You're missing the feet. Unfortunately, you can't see the feet, but yeah, they go crazy. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I can't stand it anymore. Personally, as a Cardinals fan, to see Ron Washington every time he reacts. It's not even anything. It could be like an emotionless reaction, and here's his reaction to a ground ball to second, and he just goes like, he just moves his head to the other side.
Tony La Russa's reaction to the ground ball that might have been a double play was,
I know. That's the most emotion he's shown in a while.
I didn't think that was that big of a deal to make that emotion. It was just an unfortunate play.
It was really unfortunate. Yeah, it was, you know.
But if you didn't watch the game, which that seems to be the consensus, unfortunately.
Probably not. Yep.
Tony La Russa was going to go to the bullpen. I believe they're going to bring in their closer. Or somebody else.
They were going to bring in Mott.
I don't even know if that's the closer for the team.
He does. Tony La Russa doesn't.
He doesn't have a closer, you're right?
Yes.
But he comes in the ninth inning,
correct,
and gets saves.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the closer.
So he's a closer.
They were going to go to him, except apparently, when he called down to the bullpen to get him ready, they couldn't hear him on the phone, thus calling up the wrong person to warm up. And where you're situated in the dugout, you can't see the people warming up in the bullpen because of where the walls are. So when he went to call, they're like, yeah, he's not warmed up yet. Thus proving that,
isn't that great?
For people in school that play the game telephone and just brush it off like it means nothing, work hard at it, because see what could happen? You could lose a World Series game because communication was broken. I might be stretching it a little bit.
It's stretching it.
But enjoy telephone anyway, because it's a great game, kids.
The thing is, you know, that I know that play got focus, but in the grand scheme of things, it didn't mean a thing.
No, it didn't. But people like to put games, shoulders on one play. Right. That was one important play because they brought in somebody else for an intentional walk. Which I said I would love to be on the Cardinals pitching staff. I can come in and throw an intentional walk. You could pay me a quarter of what you're paying your guys. I'll come in and throw 4 balls. Come on. I can do it from the stretch, that's wind up, whatever you need.
That's right. Yep. So they brought in Lance Lynn. To throw 4 balls. And then they took him out for Mott, who in turn struck out Elvis Andrus. I think it was Elvis Andrus. I think they walked Kinsler to get to Elvis. So in the grand scheme of things, it didn't mean much, but honestly, it was the story of how the Cardinals played that game. It was very, very little league. It wasn't smart. They didn't play smart. They never came through with any big hits. They had opportunities.
0 for 12 runners in scoring position, I believe. 12 runners left on base.
It was 1 for 12.
Yeah, 12 runners left on.
Even so, it was. They got to the Rangers early. Yachty had a big hit.
Yachty!
Skip Schumacher hit like a dribbler that scored a run.
Skip.
So they got up early, 2-0, but the Rangers just crept back, and Moreland hits a home run off Carpenter. It was exactly. It was weird because Carpenter was really pitching well, and then all of a sudden, as soon as he made a mistake, they just hit it. And then Moreland hit a home run. Musa scored a 2-1, and then Beltre hits a home run and falls to his knee.
His patented knee home run.
Yeah.
He's very good at that.
Yeah.
It looks really impressive that he's swinging absolutely as hard as he can. Exactly. I'm surprised he doesn't shatter his kneecap.
Yeah. I know.
But it looks really cool.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, especially when it goes.
Yeah, he used to do that against the Yankees. It was heartbreaking. But neither here nor there because they're at home.
So that got it to 2-2. Cardinals continued to not
suck.
Yeah, they continued to suck. That's exactly right. They couldn't get, and they had the opportunities, and they never came through with the big hits. I think Freese had the bases loaded, and he takes the first pitch and pops it up. Early, first inning, you have Albert Pujols 3-0, and he's swinging away, so he pops it up to center. Like that's dumb. I know you're Albert Pujols, but that's dumb.
He's actually not doing that well.
No, he's not.
Series.
He had one game.
And I didn't know that until I put up the statistic of his average. He's I believe 1 for 11 or 0 for 11, not including Game 4.
Correct.
Where he was 5 for 6 or 4 for 5 with the 3 home runs. Reggie.
Exactly.
Babe, Albert.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, so he's not doing as well as I thought he was, which shocked me.
Right.
And then it all came together in the 9th when he apparently calls his own plays now.
Right.
He's allowed to just call hit and runs, apparently.
That was it.
And it didn't work because he didn't swing. And the guy's running a second, looking back at him like, whoa!
Yeah.
And then he was dead.
Yeah, it was in the...
That was the 7th, I believe.
Yeah, it was back in the 7th. And it was, again, Cardinals had an opportunity, runner on first, nobody out, and you have Albert Pujols at the plate, and
Why are you stealing?
Right. That's exactly the point. That made absolutely no sense. Albert Pujols, whenever you're on base, you're in scoring position when Albert Pujols is at the plate. If you hit into a double play, so be it. Don't send Alan Craig, and then, I know that Pujols is Pujols, but why are you sending Alan Craig, and then Pujols gets this pitch that's just you can't hit it. It's too far out of the strike zone, and then Alan Craig is absolutely dead at second base. The throw was high. Napoli had trouble getting it. And then he had trouble throwing it, and I'm like, okay, he's in. And then all of a sudden they show the camera, and he's halfway to second.
It's not even in the view yet.
I'm like, oh
then he
my
slid.
God.
And
It didn't even make the base. It was just, I couldn't believe that, and then they intentionally walk Albert Pujols, and then Holiday gets a double.
Finally.
He actually did. He actually came through. He gets a double, but Alan Craig's on. That's a run.
Yeah.
That is a run, and then you'd have no outs, and you would be, with two runners on, no outs. You're getting another run. It's literally impossible to not get one. So, that changes the entire game.
Especially when you're away.
Right. Exactly.
Because nobody else is watching the games, but everyone in their respective states is at these games.
Right.
Because what else do they have to do in Texas and in St. Louis? There's not much going on. Not to knock Texas, but Cowboys are,
Yeah, exactly. And I knew at that point the Cardinals were going to lose the game. I remember because I was in a texting conversation with my dad, and it was the 7th inning, and the Rangers just tied it. And he was like, what should I do? Should I go to bed, or should I stay up and watch this? And I said, if they don't score in this inning, go to bed because they're losing this game. And, they had the opportunity. Craig got on. He got hit by a pitch, and then that's how that happened. And I was like, go to bed.
Isn't it unfortunate as fans when you know your team's going to lose?
Yep.
People always say, well, how do you know? I can know as early as the second quarter in a game or the 4th inning of a game after they're through the order twice. It's over.
Yep.
They're not going to win.
Exactly. There really is a feel. It's funny as a fan how you could tell that.
Yes.
But, you're right 95% of the time too. There are some shocking moments where they come out of nowhere and you're like, ooh.
And that's fine. I'm not going to
complain.
Which
is
yes,
cool.
they won!
But
that never happens.
you feel as a fan, who has control of games, and that's a credit to us fans.
That's it.
But
all they got to do is text us.
Yeah.
Are they going to win?
No, not tonight.
We should go to Vegas and just sit and watch the game on TV, and at a certain point.
That's true.
Rangers, got it!
Why aren't we doing that?
I don't know.
Jeez.
We'll do it.
I think we can
After
handle
the
that.
show. Let's go.
All right, we're there.
Fade to black.
But, so next inning, right. They get...
Well, how do you say that pitcher's name?
Repchinsky.
Rolls off the tongue nice.
That's it. Yeah.
It's like Krzyzewski, but everybody knows who he is.
That's it. Yep.
And we're not going to get into who decides names for people, but you just have to question who was at the office that day when the people were coming off the boat. Okay, Riff Chimsey.
We'll put a Z to
start
a silent
Z will fool them. Gives me a look coming off the boat. I'll give you a look every time you say your name to people. Anyway, yeah, he was in.
They brought him in, and they get a. We're gonna have to go to a break shortly.
I think she was just.
Oh, she was just
home run.
Home run. All right, signal it. But they put him in. You know, they have this slow roller to the. Well, it's not a slow roller. It was hit back to the pitcher. He reacts. It bounces off his knee. It ruins any chance even getting an out.
Nick Punto.
Yeah,
he's usually good at those, like falling to the ground to like throw it over his shoulder.
Yeah.
But
Grand Wilkes-Barre Red Baron there, Nick Punto.
Really?
Yeah, Punto is here. So yeah, but yeah,
Nick.
So I'm rooting for him, so I'm happy. But unable to get it, and then Napoli. 2-run double.
The Angels must feel like garbage after they ripped Napoli apart for not being able to hit. He's going to be the MVP of the World Series if the Rangers win, without question.
Yeah.
They must feel like trash.
Seriously, yeah.
Then Pujols comes up again in the 9th. Again, there goes the base runner. Again, he's thrown out.
Yeah, it was a strikeout throwout.
Because Albert Pujols on a 3-0 pitch, or 3-2 pitch, swung at a pitch he had taken twice already in the other batter's box.
Yep.
Albert,
it was
ball.
Terrible. I can't believe they did it again after, and they knew it was coming because they kept sending him on the 3-2 pitch with no outs.
Why?
Yeah, like
you paid Matt Holliday however much amount of dollars for however many years. You got a double before that bat.
Yep.
Why not?
Exactly.
We'll tell you why not. We'll be back. We're going to a break. Don't go anywhere. John Joe Sports Show, World Television Network.
Hello!
Sorry. We're back! Channel Sports Show 9.5 WSR Scranton soon on the Royal Television Network. Just jamming out to some cover songs by our friends band, The Rushing Daisies. They cover some Michael Jackson songs. They're a good band. Rushing Daisies. Check them out. RushingDaisies.com. RushingDaisies.com.
Yeah.
Anyway, World Series. Still going with that. It's 3-2 Rangers. Rangers? I think you could say that for anyone. Tonight, Octavio Dotel. Just kidding. He was the loser last night. Thank God they're not pitching Octavio.
It's unfortunate.
Nope. Jaime, he's back.
Jaime Garcia.
Or Jamie, if you want to Americanize his name. Going against Chris Lewis. Jaime's a good pitcher.
Yeah, he pitched very well in Game 2.
He did.
In the loss. That's the thing for the Cardinals this series. I mean, you know, that's just wasting opportunities as a whole. I mean, that Game 2 where they had a 1-run lead, Jaime Garcia pitches one heck of a game, and they have a 1-0 lead going into the top of the 9th, and they blew it. Mott, who's been untouchable pretty much this postseason at least, gives up a was it a walk to Kinsler? Did he walk Kinsler? I
believe he walked Kinsler and then gave up a double.
Yeah, it was.
Then they took him out.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it was.
How many runs did he give up when he got taken? Oh, none.
None. Yep.
That's really bizarre. I have to say, because okay, it's
doesn't happen.
Second and third, no outs, but he's your guy.
Right.
Well,
he's not their guy.
He's kind of your guy.
La Russa, he's the 9th inning man. Yeah.
So according to Tony La Russa, the Yankees should have taken out Mariano Rivera in 2001 when he gave up when he hit Craig Counsell. Take him out. Put in somebody else. You know who might have been on their team? Arthur Rhodes. He made the loop throughout the majors. He might have been.
It's true. No,
Arthur Rhodes, he's going to win a ring regardless. Either tomorrow or the next day. He's getting a ring because he was on both teams. Good for you, Arthur. You know, there's no losers in sports, so they say. That's proven true because he'll be all right. He's getting a ring regardless. He doesn't care.
It's true. You know who else has been on both teams? Darren Oliver.
They're like the same person, Rangers. Basically, too.
That's true. That is true. I agree.
So, yeah, I don't agree with taking out your closer when he hasn't given up a run yet. Now, if he gave up a single there, okay, bye-bye. So they bring in Arthur. He gives up a sac fly, and they brought in somebody else. They give up a sac fly, and
game over.
Mott could have did that.
No, that's true. I mean, you know, that game 2, the Rangers just everything. Not that everything went their way. It's just they always made the plays every time they had to. They played great defense, especially up the middle. Elvis and Kinsler were being praised as gods that game, and they were doing well. I mean, up the middle, they kept making great plays. So they were just making these fantastic defensive plays, keeping the Cardinals at 1 run, keeping the game within reach, and then it got to that point where Kinsler was on, and then Kinsler steals and barely gets there. But he gets there, and
unlike somebody on the Cardinals.
Yeah. So I mean, that opens it up, and we could talk about the Pujols cutoff where he was supposed to cut off the ball, and that's how Elvis got to second base and caused a third and second instead of a first and third.
Lackadaisical.
It's true.
He did look lazy on that play, but you know how many times he's probably made that catch? He's probably like, I got this.
The thing is, like, I feel like he was indecisive and he didn't know what he wanted to do. Like, I think people just feel he missed it. I think he was like trying to decide whether he wanted to, so he was just kind of like, I'll let it go. And I think that was his, decision making, because he was going back and forth and he just let it go. That gets you second and third, and ended up being a key point in the game, because if Hamilton comes out, sack fly, they get 1 run, but Elvis stays at first base.
Yes.
I'm going to call him Elvis because he's the only player ever named Elvis in the World Series. They play in the World Series. So he's at first.
Shockingly enough, Elvis Presley did not make it to the World
Series. Exactly. He was probably there, though.
Who knows? I bet.
Yeah. But, he sack flies. If that happens, Michael Young's sack fly would have turned into just a pop-out, and then Elvis is on first base, and, the Cardinals get out of the inning from there, and it's tied 1-1.
Yes.
So, it turned out to be a big play, but I don't really blame Pujols for, like...
The loss? The whole loss?
They were all over it. They wanted to stone him after the game, basically. But, I don't really blame it on him. It just seemed everything was going the Rangers' way, and they were just going to win that game.
I don't understand why people need to put the blame. Like, there's 18 people at least that play a Major League Baseball game. Not one person loses the game. There's no way that someone can lose the game unless they come in and hit 4 straight batters, and that's the game-winning run, or they go to catch a home run ball and throw it over the fence.
Right.
Unless you blatantly do something that ridiculously obvious, like, it's the 9th inning and there's 2 outs, and you just stand in the back of the batter's box and just drop the bat and be like, go ahead, strike me out. Has anybody done that?
Right.
No.
No.
You're going to blame Albert Pujols because the ball went off his glove. Nail him to the cross. He got you to where you are. Calm yourself.
Right. That's very true, and that kind of brings me to something else that I want to talk about this series. Game 3, that turned into a 16-7 rout eventually for the Cardinals. The last glimmer of hope that they showed. It was the double play attempt where they tried to turn it, and then Ian Kinsler threw it high to Napoli, but Napoli made a nice play and tagged Holiday on the back. He was so far out, it wasn't even close, and the ump called him safe. Napoli turned around and said, "Ah!" and that was, about it. And, the Cardinals go on, and they end up getting 4 runs in the inning. Yeah, four runs in the inning. And they get a 5-0 lead. Now, in that inning, Napoli throws a double play. He gets a double play ball. He throws it to the catcher, and he throws it wide, and it goes, and 2 runs come around for the Cardinals. Now, here's just another situation of a bad call, and your team implodes after it.
Yes.
I don't understand. Like, there is no one to blame but yourselves. If you hold all that on a bad call, and then your team just mentally collapses after that. You could see all these instances. That's one of them. You've got for the Cardinals in 1985, when the ump made a terrible call at first, and then the Cardinals collapsed.
Is that the famous call, or that famous play that they show all the time, where the guy was safe by a mile, or he was out, out by a mile, like a full step?
Yeah.
Oh, that poor guy.
Right.
He still has to hide under his bed.
Exactly. I mean, and it's these situations. But, like, if you're the Cardinals there's no excuse still not to get out of that inning.
Yes.
With a runner on first. With the Rangers in Game 3, there's 1 out, a runner on first now instead of nobody on. I mean, and you give up 4 runs after that? Like, there's no excuse. You cannot use that.
Chicago.
That's another point. Steve Bartman hits the ball. Okay, it's not like it turned into a home run or anything. It was just a foul ball. And what happens? They give up 8 runs that inning. Like, how could you blame one person for giving up 8 runs in an inning? That's ridiculous. That just means your team is not mentally tough enough, and you do not deserve to win in that situation. You know what I mean?
Like, that shocks me that it happens at the professional level.
Right.
You can understand, and we've seen it on many teams we've been on in youth sports. You know, if you get a bad call, people flip out. Yeah, but you're in high school or you're in grade school. These are professional athletes.
Right.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Don't you have enough talent to, get out of the inning and then go up to the ump and be like, yeah, that's right.
Exactly. It's a matter of mental toughness, and like you just see it so many times that these players just don't end up having it. They don't bog down, and they don't get it done, and that's just shocking to me. How they're professionals and they have to blame something. I'm not saying the players like totally blame. It gets caught up in the media, but like how you just implode after like a simple, human error like that. It doesn't make sense. Bog down, get the outs. It doesn't make sense that people collapse under that situation. Let it go.
Happens all the time. Every sport,
Yep.
it's unbelievable.
Yep. And you blame it on that.
And then afterward, sports affiliates blame the loss on this call.
Right.
This is why they lost. This.
I think in this case, if the Cardinals turn around and they win 2 games in a row at home, I don't think it's going to turn into that play lost it, because they ended up winning the game 16-7.
Yeah. So
like it turned out to not be that big of a thing, and Pujols went off, and that's what people remember. No one's gonna remember the bad call if they take away the 4 runs they got in that inning. They still win. Math 12-7. So like it's fortunately it won't come down to that call, and no one will try to kill that umpire.
Yes.
But it's just unfortunate that these teams who collapse, they just collapse. There's no mental toughness, and you should at that level you should have the mental toughness to get through it.
And then they mentioned, well, it's time for more instant replay so things like this don't happen. Every year it happens in the playoffs. Yeah. There's a missed call. Instant replay. We need more of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. I think there should be more in some situations, but you can't take, like, one of the stupidest things TBS could do was have a strike meter on the side of the screen.
Yes, I agree.
Why would you do that?
I agree.
People that don't know the game, they're going to watch the screen and be like, well, it's a strike on here. Why is he calling it a ball?
That's exactly right.
And then throughout the broadcast, the people had to explain, well, that's not accurate. Well, why is it there if it's not accurate?
Yeah.
Why do you have it up there if it's wrong? Why waste my time? My eyes are going to that stupid tracker and not the glove.
Exactly. I completely agree. Like, what do you want? Do you want us to take umpires out of the game and just get calls just have a guy down there just to like relay the calls from the computer screen? Like, it's just stupid. I mean, replays okay, but how far are you gonna take it?
Yeah.
Like they have now that like it's home runs.
Home runs.
That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, a home run is a big enough play. If you need to take a minute, there's been fan interferences and stuff like that. That's a necessity. But if it's just a simple play like that, you have to rely. I mean, there's going to be human error, but you have to have humans. I'm sorry, it's just beyond me. And the strike zone tracker that's absolutely right. It's the most ridiculous thing. It shouldn't be there. There's no reason for it.
I agree.
And you have people like Tim McCarver, and he's complaining about that pitch, and then they wait for the strike zone tracker, and he's like, may have a point. I'm like, shut up, Tim. Like, calm down. I hate it. I don't know.
I agree. I think if they're going to do anything more with replay, I think they should just concentrate on runs. Like, if there's a play at the plate, I could see if you want to check it with replay. That's something I would accept because it deals with a run just scoring. But as far as first base, calls at first base, no need for that. Fair or foul, no need for that. There's certain things that just shouldn't be worried about, and it should be up to the umpires to decide. Right. That's their job. They're professionals. They had to go through classes. It's not like you just get handed some clothing and told, okay, go ahead. No.
Yeah.
There's policies they have to follow. There's things they have to do, and you're taking that away from them too much. You know,
Absolutely.
And it's becoming even too much in NFL now. They're reviewing every touchdown they have to review, like obvious ones.
Yeah.
Why? Everyone and their brother could see that that's a touchdown. Pretty sure? Yes.
I agree. And did you see, they only used it in game 1 because I hope they realized it was the dumbest thing.
Yeah, I think
ever
people
came
are
up
starting to tell them, like, why?
They came up with the infrared.
Yes, the infrared.
Infrared view that shows nothing.
No, it doesn't. There's no colors except black and white.
Exactly.
What am I looking at?
The one play they use it for is when there was a controversial call that Adrian Beltre might have hit the ball off his foot, and I believe he probably did.
Yeah.
It was very close.
That's what it looked like.
But they said
under the infrared.
But Joe Buck got really excited. And he was like, "Oh, let's go to the infrared. This is where it could actually be useful." And it looks like it actually hit his foot. And it's that was a tough call there. I mean,
baseball must have been a lot more fun back 30 years ago. They didn't have this stuff. You know, you'd read the paper and you wouldn't be like, well, that call that we played on TV 34 times
exactly
wasn't controversial. They just lost.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way that people could know unless it was blatant. But how are you going to know sitting in the stands that a call was blatantly missed?
True.
There's no replay,
That's true.
which means whatever the people from the newspapers wrote is what people saw.
Yeah, very true. I mean,
beautiful.
Even here, like fans, like for your home team, because they think it's a strike for wherever they are in the stadium, but they're so far away. Like, you're not actually going to go home and be like, wow, that was a strike or anything. You're absolutely right in that point. I mean, the TV, the evolution in media has, it's been tough on
it's been hard
on the umpires.
It's been hard on the umpires.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're absolutely right.
So what do you think? Who's winning the World Series?
I'm going to have to go with Texas now. I after that last game, I could see. I might go with your original prediction.
I'm sticking with it.
Texas in 6. The series rests on Jaime Garcia's shoulders. I don't know if I see that. I think the Cardinals are going to have to put up a lot of runs because this is a guy. Jaime will pitch very well for a certain period of time, but once the opposition gets like one hit or like a little bit of a rally going, he collapses. I mean, you saw that back in the NLCS when the Brewers, he gave up 6 runs against the Brewers in 1 inning. I mean, he just implodes, and that is a huge issue. I mean, and right now in a high pressure situation, Jaime Garcia is very young. He's in his 2nd year, and he's a solid pitcher right now for his 2nd year. But this is just not a game that you want on his shoulders, and I think it's going to end for the Cardinals. Their magical run is going to end tomorrow night. Wow, we're at the Aquinas. I am going to be so mad.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to be so
That's going to be an awful night for me.
Yeah.
Not for you.
Yeah.
For me.
For you? Yeah.
Joe,
Why did you stab me with a fork? Jeez, where'd you get a fork? First of all. Like, oh, God, I think it's ending.
I'm sticking with my pick because it's not wrong yet, so I have no reason to change it.
That's true.
But what's going to help the Cardinals? What's good for them is they're home.
Correct.
And it's kind of unfortunate that they've lost at home already, so you can't say, oh. But that gives them the best shot of winning, being at home. They're going to have a packed house. Maybe Ron Washington will have problems relaying a pitching change in the bullpen. They were going to Cardinals players and like trying so hard to get them to say, they'd be like, "You're sure it wasn't a problem with the facilities?"
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to get one pitcher to just rip apart Texas and their stadium and their fans. And they're like, no, pretty much everywhere you play is like that.
Exactly.
But you know, things are bad in a game when you're going to interview the bullpen crew. Excuse me, can we have a word? Who is this? Like, why do we care about this?
Yeah.
That's all they're going to talk about in Game 6. I guarantee there'll be a scene where they zoom in on the phone where the bullpen is at some point during the game, and then mention last night, and then they'll show Roger Clemens catching Mike Piazza's bat from the 2000 World Series. Got to throw that in there every once in a while.
They'll show the 7th game of the ALCS.
7th game of the ALCS.
CS 2004.
Throw it in. Remember this? Yeah, that was good
times. That's exactly right. Yeah, and I think that's how it's going to happen, because that's how it went obviously a much bigger, the Steve Bartman. Because they got to Game 7, and it was like the Cubs already lost in the NLCS, and people were just like, okay, Game 7, we got Kerry Wood on the mound, but how about last night?
Remember that?
Yeah, that's... I
Media is just ruining things for people.
In all honesty.
It really is.
It really is. Yes.
Especially SportsCenter does it. They spent so much time on that stupid bullpen conversation. The Albert Pujols, did he make the call? Is he running? What's going on with that? And Tim Tebow. I've heard more Tim Tebow talk in the past. I'm a huge Broncos fan. I love Tim Tebow. I never want to hear his name spoken out loud ever again, because ever since Friday, we've just heard Tim Tebow. But don't worry, we'll fill you in on Tim shortly in the show. Thank God. In other baseball news, John Lackey needs Tommy John surgery. How do you pitch an entire season and then at the end just be like, something's wrong? Apparently at one point in August or something, one of the doctors said, you're going to need Tommy John. He laughed. Who's laughing now?
Yeah. That's
Must have
really
been
funny.
too much of this action.
Yeah, probably.
In the dugout.
There we go. Knew that was coming.
Nobody can see what we're doing.
And it must have attributed to how awful you pitched this year.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Must have been the shoulder. Let's see. Twins declined their 2012 option for Joe Nathan. Joe, bye-bye.
Bye, Joe.
He gets surgery, loses everything. And Oswalt and Lidge declined by the Phillies, which means Roy Oswald's coming to the Yankees.
Yeah, probably.
34 years old. Him or Lidge. Come on down. Bullpen. Lidge. Oswald. One of them will be there.
That's probably
Watch.
true.
If it happens, I'm not even going to laugh because I said it.
What, the Big Four? What?
No.
Wait.
Nope, the Big Four is gone.
The Big Four?
They'll just put Joe Bland in the Big Four.
Oh, perfect.
Brian Cashman is going to have a deal to be re-signed by Halloween. That's spooky.
That's good. That's good stuff.
The NBA is going to take 2 more weeks off the season, pushing it back to at least November 25th.
It's not happening.
Well, this is bad.
It's not happening.
It's not looking good. You know what is looking good, though, is they're thinking of having a world tour with, like, Wade, Kobe, everybody. They're just going to go play all around the world. They should do a U.S. tour.
They should. Yeah, I agree. If they're showing that they're trying to be great to the fans and not trying to diss the fans, they should do a U.S. tour.
I agree. And unfortunately, for a lot of players, this is like probably the end of their career. Like guys like Jason Kidd and stuff. People that have one more year left.
That's true.
Now what?
Like
unless you work out a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Every day.
Teams like the Celtics.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just getting older.
Kobe's losing a year.
Yeah, Kobe's getting older. I mean, there are a few teams that really this is gonna hurt.
This is gonna hurt. But a lot of people are still playing pickup, having fun with it.
Yeah.
There's a new commercial now, Jumpman, where they show Dwayne Wade going to like every rec league there is.
Yeah. That was funny. That was good.
As far as college football, Suck for Luck is in full session, people. Dolphins are sucking the most currently. That's exciting. I think the 1 and 2s are still in the same as far as the standings go, because I know what happens in the BCS is if you don't win by enough points, you just lose a spot in the rankings.
It's true. That's how it
But
goes.
LSU and Alabama are still there. Oklahoma State is third. That's the first time that's happened in school history. La-dee-dee.
Yeah, I mean, the big game this week was Michigan State, Wisconsin.
Yes.
Where, similar to the Jaguars play last year, the Hail Mary.
Knock it down!
Same thing. Knock it down. What
But
do you do?
down.
Yep. down. Yep.
Knocked it down into the opposing receiver's hands. Touchdown.
Like
Even though it was ruled
barely gets in the end zone.
ruled not a touchdown.
Right.
I think it was.
Yeah, definitely a touchdown. But he did barely get in, but he did get in. That's just an incredible finish there, and that was really the highlight of college football this weekend. Matt McGloin gets the start for Penn State. They beat Northwestern.
Were they on TV?
They were. Yep.
I couldn't find it. Silly me, I went to all the actual affiliates. I guess they're on one of those.
Oh, they're on the Big Ten Network. I'm sorry, they were on the Big Ten Network. Yeah, my dad was watching the game on the
I
Big
get
Ten
that, but
How's it?
I don't
Yeah.
really care about Penn State football.
Yes.
I was like, you watching Penn State? No.
Sure, yeah.
I'm carrying on living my life.
Yeah, I'm happy for Matt. That's about it.
Yeah, good for you, Matt.
Good for you.
Matt!
Yeah.
Northwestern,
Way
not
to
that
go.
good, but Northwestern.
Yeah. Great against Northwestern.
If it was lacrosse, I'd be more impressed. Anyway, we'll go to another break, a more lengthier one by like 30 seconds. We'll come back. We'll talk some football. We'll go over the week, tell you a little bit about Tim Tebow, a little bit about Joe's hat, and the state of some of the teams, some of the quarterbacks, and then we'll give our pick 'em at the end. But we'll be right back. John and Joe's Sports Show on the Royal Television Network. Stay tuned for more.
Hi, my name's Andy Davis, the president of the up-and-coming Scranton Football Club. Are you interested in showing your support or even playing for the team? If so, the Scranton Football Club is an excellent way of building confidence. Teamwork.
Character.
Mental toughness. Athleticism.
Scranton football!
For more information, contact Andy Davis.
We're back here on the John and Joe Sports Show, 99.5 WSR Scranton and the Royal Television Network. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a great show planned if you're just joining us on the radio. If you've been with us the entire time through the Royal Television Network, wow. We're impressed.
Crazy, yeah.
come on down and we'll shake your hand.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you've missed the first hour, we jaunted a little bit about baseball. If you didn't realize, the World Series is happening, so we talked about that a little bit.
Yep.
And we're done. That's it.
Yes. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
It's okay.
By that, we sat in silence for an hour because we had nothing to say about it. Now it's time for football, and Tim Tebow will be joining us now.
Oh, if only.
That'd be cool. I should tweet Tim, see if he'll join us.
Well,
he probably
he's
would.
big into Jesus, and we're a Jesuit university,
yes,
so I'm sure
I have medals.
Would have made the time.
He would have.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he lives down the line.
True.
But a wild week in football. Let's get right into it.
Let's get right into that
with
first
the first game. The barn burner of the week, Browns Seahawks. Going into the game, we knew this would be epic, and it was. Nobody scored a touchdown, and the final was 6-3. Browns win. Colt McCoy. Colt. 2 field goals. And only one for the Seahawks. This really is the case for contraction for the NFL. It's time. Just, ship these people off and get some talent in.
Seriously.
You know who was the leading receiver for the Browns, Joe? Bonaya. Bonaya.
Let's see.
Bonaya.
Yeah, I have no idea, actually.
A little bit easier for the Seahawks.
Not that I thought I was going to
Sidney Rice, 2 receptions, 36 yards. This is just absolutely frightening, and we're not going to talk about it at all.
Yeah,
but I picked the Browns.
Yeah, I think I picked the Browns too, so it kind of works out in
absolutely
that
pathetic.
sense.
3-3 the Browns, 2-4 the Seahawks. Godspeed, both teams.
Godspeed. Godspeed is right.
Falcons-Lions. Falcons win 23-16. 2 straight losses for the Lions. Perhaps we're seeing their true colors shining through.
Such an outdated song.
It is.
Yes. Yes, anyway, you could be right. And I kind of expected this to happen, especially like earlier in the year before they were 5-0, but afterward they really seemed like a team to be reckoned with, if you will. But now, maybe they are showing their true colors, coming in, losing at home to the Falcons, a team that's kind of struggled to find their footing after.
Literally?
Yeah. After being a team that was picked to go to the Super Bowl. So it'll be interesting to see in the next few weeks what Detroit is going to be like.
Falcons still look very ugly. I just don't know why the Lions' offense didn't show up for this game. Megatron got into the end zone as usual, but that was it as far as touchdowns thrown by Stafford. The big part of the game, I guess you'd say, was Matt Ryan went down with a knee injury.
Yep. And
Ndamukong Suh and some of the Lions guys were like, good for you.
Right.
I mean, in layman's terms. God knows what they actually said. And then they interviewed Suh after the game. He's like, I don't care if we were taunting him. Like, for all the stuff that they did in the past, this is karma for them. So I don't know anything about that. But some jaunting, jarring talks going on. But you know what, Joe? It's a football game. That's what happens.
Very true. Yeah, that is true. Very true.
We're getting written a note by our producer here.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it says. Yeah,
I love Ndamukong Suh. He's been in the league 2 years, and I wouldn't shake his hand. I'd be that frightened. He is a frightening individual.
It's true. He's a solid player.
He is.
On the NFL.
He's everything you want in a player.
Yep.
Because he doesn't take anything from anyone.
That's true.
But there's no definitive answer if they taunted or laughed or whatever, but who cares?
Exactly. Yep. Okay. Gotcha. Yep.
Why?
Okay. I don't know.
Oh. PSA break. Now. Quick. Be right back.
John Osbush.
John Osbush.
PSA break. It's coming. Quick.
Hi, my name's Andy Davis, the president of the up-and-coming Scranton Football Club. Are you interested in showing your support or even playing for the team? If so, the Scranton Football Club is an excellent way of building confidence. Teamwork.
Character.
Mental toughness. Athleticism.
Scranton football!
For more information, contact Andy Davis.
Hey guys, this is my teenage friend Rachel. She's cool.
Hey. Hey, could you watch the road?
Hey, could you watch the road?
Okay. All right, well, if we die in a car crash, I want to donate my eyes to my neighbor Gary. He has a boat, and he sails all around the world. I would love to see that. I don't know if he actually needs eyes, but who would turn on a free pair of eyes, right? Who's that rich?
We all know what Facebook looks like after a long night out. Blurry, and yet so enticing. But don't be like this guy and type something that makes absolutely no sense onto your friend's Facebook walls, or else they might not want to be your friend for too long. So remember, if you're going to go out on the town tonight, turn your laptop off.
Hi, my name's Andy Davis, the president of the up-and-coming Scranton Football Club. Are you interested in showing your support or even playing for the team? If so, the Scranton Football Club is an excellent way of building confidence. Teamwork.
Character.
Mental toughness. Athleticism.
Scranton football!
For more information, contact Andy Davis.
Hi, my name's Andy Davis, the president of the up-and-coming Scranton Football Club. Are you interested in showing your support or even playing for the team? If so, the Scranton Football Club is an excellent way of building confidence. Teamwork.
Character.
Mental toughness. Athleticism.
For more information, contact Andy Davis.
More than 200,000 people are hospitalized from seasonal flu-related complications every year. This could be prevented by getting your yearly flu shot. Children aged 6 months to 19 years should be vaccinated yearly. Remember to make an appointment with your doctor for your yearly flu shot. For more information on vaccines and preventable diseases, please visit www.cdc.gov.
Hello, everyone. Oh, that's great. We're coming on camera one. That's cool. I'm Joe, and John just quit. We're done. Yeah, we went to a PSA break. We had a huge fight. Something happened, and he ended up quitting. So the John and Joe Sports Show is now the Joe Sports Show. I hope that I was the one you liked more because I'm the only one left until we find a replacement for John. Okay, so that was a joke if you're watching, wherever you are. And John is trying to figure out the WSR issue upstairs. I don't know what's going on. So those of you waiting to listen to the show, I'm sorry. But I'm not reaching you right now. So he will be back. But for right now, it's just me on camera one. I do like this. This is good. This is good. But we had some interesting games over the weekend and some uninteresting games. We touched on the Browns-Seahawks. Just no reason to watch that game, no reason to play it because nobody really cares. And we were about to get a little bit into the Lions-Falcons. We did get into it. The Lions dropping to 5-2 on the season, and the Falcons improving to 4-3. This is a huge win for the Falcons. You know, coming in, beating a team that lost a week before, but a team that came in to the season 5-0 and not looking like the Lions of old. Looking more like the Barry Sanders Lions without a good running back, if you will. Instead with a solid quarterback and one heck of a receiver who's been getting, he had 9 touchdowns in the first 5 games of the season, which is astronomical. And now these last 2 games, unfortunately last week, the game is just, I don't think anybody knows who won the Niners-Lions game. They just remember that there was an awful handshake at the end of it. So basically, they dropped to 5-2 now, and you have to wonder if the Lions are going to return to their true colors where they have been of late, but who knows what will happen there. Like I said, huge win for the Falcons, a team that was thought to possibly go to the Super Bowl this year, talked about, but not really showing it at all this year, you know. But this is a big win, maybe now to get back on track on the season. So moving on, we have the Texans and the Titans. The Texans just absolutely hammering the Titans, 41-7. This was a big day for me because I had Arian Foster, who got 43 fantasy points. I think he had over 100 yards receiving and 100 yards rushing. He just went off for the Texans, and there was really no chance for the Titans. The Texans actually coming out and taking care of business. You know, a very inconsistent team, but you know, this was one of the weeks where they were up, and this is a big win. It's a divisional win. It knocks the Titans down to that 3-3 on the season, and moves the Texans up to 4-3. Very winnable division there with the Colts out of it. I mean, haven't won a game yet. They usually own that division. You know, the Titans not doing well. Hey Nina. I'm good. I got it. I'm good. I'm loving this. I'm on camera one. Man, I'm cool. You ruined my rhythm. Jeez, what was I talking about? All right, anyway. Don't like stare at me either. Like that's like really weird. Yeah, thank you. All right. So basically, I'm trying to talk sports here. Do you mind? All right, thank you. That would be. I agree. Anyway, moving back to the AFC South. I mean, the Texans. I think the Texans are kind of a team that's in control of this division. Like I said, you know, a few seconds ago, with the Colts being out of it, you know, no Peyton Manning means no wins apparently for them. So we've got, you know, the Texans on top of that division right now, with probably, the Titans will be the team to beat. Other than, you know, that's the team the Texans are going to have to beat, and they came out and they put a beat down on the Titans in this game. So that's a huge win for playoff implications there. And, you know, I'm going to skip the Broncos-Dolphins for now in hopes that John Lund will soon return, because I know he's going to want to talk about that. Let's see. Moving on, we have the Jets playing the Chargers. The Jets coming into this game just not looking good at all. They're not performing, not getting wins, and we have the Chargers, you know, kind of, you know, 4-2 right now, but not a team that's really looking that great. So, you know, the Jets come in, and you know, they go down early, but they come back. You know, shockingly enough, the Jets really got it done in this game. A great game for them. Coming back, Sanchez with 3 touchdown passes to Plaxico Burress in the game. I think he just had the 3 touchdowns for like 24 yards or something. But yeah, he did come up big, probably his biggest game so far since he's come back, and an important victory for the Jets. You know, last week the Jets played the Dolphins and, you know, stopped their, I believe, 2 or 3 game slide. I think it was a 3-game slide. But yeah, that now ends, and now they're back beating a decent team in the Chargers. You know, the Chargers now at 4-2, you know, in division with the Raiders and the Chiefs. I mean, they should be winning that division. Basically, the Chargers should be winning it, and you know, these are the kind of teams that the Chargers are going to have to beat. John Lund! John Lund is back in the studio.
John.
You could stop listening to my monotonous voice.
Sorry about the fire we had.
Yeah, I was hoping you were returning. I was about to start just crying on it. I was gonna try to find you. It wasn't you. Okay.
Anyway,
apology accepted.
Where'd you get?
Okay. Well, I'm on the Chargers Jets, but we're gonna have to go back to the Broncos Dolphins.
Yeah.
I wanted to save that. I skipped through a few games.
Yeah, Texans Titans. Chris Johnson's a laugh.
Yes. Right.
I'd like to pay money to people who do nothing.
Arian Foster. Huge fantasy.
Finally, came back.
Loved it.
He's done nothing all season except for that game.
Yes.
Broncos Dolphins.
Tim Tebow.
My boy.
Take it away, John.
You know, Tim Tebow played the worst 57 minutes of football you might ever see. You could probably find better talent at a high school football game watching a kid throw with his other hand than you would watching Tim Tebow play against the Dolphins. They're down 15-0, 3 minutes and change to go. You think it's over. No. Tim Tebow gets them a touchdown. They get the onside kick. He leads them down the field. They get another touchdown. He runs in the two-point conversion. They win on a field goal in overtime. Legacy already. Tim. Now, for those of you that watch ESPN, bless you. But you've probably heard Tim Tebow's name, as we did, 1,000 times all weekend long, because he is the hot topic this weekend. Some people hate him. Some people like him. I'm a fan, but I'll be the first to say that he played like garbage
yes.
all game until the fourth quarter, until the end, which is why I love Tim Tebow, because for whatever reason, he's one of the best motivators, and he'll just win you games. Every game he's been in that it seems, even games they've lost, he'll make these improbable comebacks so the game can be won. Yep. The last game he was in, he threw a hailed desperation pass at the end that got knocked down. He just needs to work on the first three quarters. And like I told Joe, if you're going to put Tim Tebow in the game, put him in the fourth.
Yeah.
Put Brady Quinn in for the first three. Have him enjoy himself. 22nd pick. Woo! Then throw Tim in. Tim!
That's it. Yep. I like it. Yeah.
I was happy.
And as you should have been. A team that comes in, down 15, and then Tim Tebow brings you back. I mean, that's great for Tim Tebow, and it's, Tebow just provides a spark to this team that you just, it makes sense, but it kind of doesn't make sense at the same time. He's not that good for people to get behind and want him to lead your team, but he just has this thing about him, this passion, this confidence, and that passes on. And I'm sure, like you said, he's just a great motivator. I could just see him in huddles being a great motivator. I mean, and it's not just in his time with Denver. There's also, his time with Florida.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was huge. I mean, I believe Florida had 2 national championships while he was there. Yep. So, I mean, the ability to lead, the guy knows how to win, and he can lead a team. He is not, as you saw on Sunday, he's just not that good of a quarterback.
No.
He needs to work on things. He doesn't throw good balls. He just, the one great part of his game is that he is very elusive. He's strong, he could run, and he's elusive. He was escaping, defensive pressure so often. It was great, and that's a great part of his game, but he just has to deliver the pass after that. And he's always going to be good at running, finding space. He could be good in the red zone with what's he going to do? Is he going to throw? Is he going to pass? That's important when you get down there. But, in all aspects of the game, those first 3 quarters, he was 4 for 12 for 30 yards or something. And that's obviously not going to get it done at this level. but that's huge. I mean, coming up, you can't say anything bad about the guy in the fourth quarter because he came back and he got it done. He got the W.
Got the W.
And that's the important part.
And Chris Carter made a couple good points. He doesn't really make wide receivers better by helping them out.
True.
And there's some quarterbacks that could find wide receivers and get them the ball in the perfect place. Even we were saying the one good pass he threw on a diving catch, the ball was wobbly.
Yep.
You know, it wasn't even that good of a pass. But I think this is important to get him experience. I think he needs experience, and it's got to be a completely different aspect of a game to go from a running quarterback at Florida to someone that needs to stay in the pocket and who's not Michael Vick. He doesn't have that speed. He's more of he kind of reminds me of Donovan McNabb.
Right.
That type of, it's hard to bring him down, or Ben Roethlisberger type of body structure. So if he gets this experience, I don't expect him to win, 8 games or however many games, but a couple wins under his belt. Just get the experience to come back next year and be better. That's all you can do is continue to improve. He's motivated enough to do that. We've seen it, we've heard it, and he got the W. And if, granted, it's the winless Dolphins, they're horrible.
It's true.
We'll see as the year goes on when he has to play teams, what's going to happen. But Denver is rebuilding, and if he can rebuild with them, I think in the future they won't look that bad, because there are some shining moments when he goes up to the line for the 2-point conversion and calls an audible and sees that no one's in the middle, and he does the patented draw play, and they get a 2-point conversion.
Right.
They don't get that, they're not going to win.
Right. Yeah.
So it's things like that. He can lead a team, and people hate. Why are you hating?
Yeah, it's true, and like another fact, the fans are behind him. I mean, and that's really important, because I feel like when Orton was in, it was difficult for for a team to function when the fans don't want you in.
Yes. And you know that.
Right, exactly. And then your team, and the team knows that. And it's just, the atmosphere is just different. And I feel that the fans are definitely helping, to
just notice
to play
the backdrop we have.
Yeah, yeah. It's bubbly.
Nice. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Really cool.
But yeah, I'm excited for the future, but ESPN has made Tim Tebow their LeBron James of football. And I'm sure that 80% of the listeners and watchers and people that watch the program can't stand Tim Tebow now. They're making it worse on Tim because they won't shut up about him. Let him go out, let him play, let the boys play.
Let him play, ref. Let him play.
Anyway, there were more games.
There were.
Did you get the Chargers, Jets?
I talked about
Blacks go, 3 touchdowns.
Right. Yeah, that was the key.
The Chargers, yeah. They're something. They have talent, and they
seem to squander it.
Yeah, they do.
That's what I was saying.
They singled out the final drive that they had, where they just didn't know what to do with under 2 minutes. The clock's ticking. They don't have timeouts, and Phillip Rivers is looking over at the coach, and the coach is looking at him like, "What do we do? Just throw it." So they waste 30 seconds, and they throw the ball 3 feet. And they waste another, and then they're throwing these little dinky passes. They're not even going deep. You don't know how to run a 2-minute offense?
Yeah.
In week 7, right? 7.
That's correct. Yep.
The Jets finally won.
Yeah, I mean this is
because they were at home, 4-0 at home.
Yeah. Yep.
Mark Sanchez still doesn't impress me at all.
He never has.
He never has. But
never has.
Good for the Jets.
Yep.
Good for you, Jets. Good for you. Bears, Bucks. The Bears win 24-18, and I'm beginning to hate the Bucks more and more because they are very inconsistent. Very inconsistent.
Very, very.
And the Bucks should have won, I think. Matt Forte goes off for 145 yards. Yeah. I still am not impressed by the Bears.
Right.
I don't think Jay Cutler is that great of a quarterback. He's probably not even, he's in my top 20, but that's not impressive.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And where are the Bucks? Freeman, where are you? They don't have any running backs, though, because one of their running backs tore their ACL. Yeah. He's out for the year.
Blunt.
And no, it wasn't Blunt. Blunt is hurt. He's coming back in a week.
Yes.
It was like Ernest Graham, I believe.
Yeah. Yes.
So now they have Lumpkin as their only running back. So for you fantasy owners, pick him up. Kevin Lumpkin. For the holiday season of Halloween, get Lumpkin. Rhyme it with pumpkin. Enjoy that for this week. Get him, because he's their only running back, really. So maybe he'll go for 256 yards.
What are the chances of that? What running back would do that in week 7?
No one.
No one. Definitely not.
Oh, there was.
There was, yep. Sarcasm.
4-3 for both teams. Fantastic. Bears. Woo. Brian Urlacher had an interception. God bless him. Then he tried to run it back, and he just looked old. Kneel down. Fall down. Panthers, Redskins. 33-20 in favor of the Redskins. Cam! He beat them. Beat the Redskins.
Yep.
2 touchdowns. That's not that impressive, but they won. Cam.
Way to go, Cam.
Ran 1, threw for 1. He's like the 3rd best fantasy quarterback, I think, this year in the league. He's doing awesome.
Yeah.
I love being at register and getting a text that says, Cam, 16 yards to the house. Cam.
Yeah, that's really impressive. It's
2-5 for the Panthers. I mean, the record is still
not
awful. The Redskins are showing their true colors. They're fantastically bad.
Yeah.
Rex Grossman, I think, is hurt now.
Yeah, I think they're just starting back.
Beck's gonna start now.
Yeah, they're just starting back.
You know who's on the IR? Kerry Collins.
Yep.
Thanks for coming back for 4 games, Kerry. Thanks a lot. He's done for the year.
He should be done.
But there's nothing better than getting a Cam text. I was expecting to get some Tim text, but he did nothing until the last 3 minutes. So that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Cam did nothing in the first half. I was getting worried. It was like 2:30. I still haven't gotten a Cam text. What are you doing? But they win. So he's a bright spot for the Panthers. Unfortunately, they only have Steve Smith. The good one.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Not the other one.
Yep.
So they need to get some players. Or
definitely need some players.
Yeah, they don't have anybody for him to go to, so he's running it in for touchdowns.
Yep.
But he looks good. He really does
definitely,
look good.
Definitely got to be impressed with Cam Newton.
Cam. Chiefs, 28-0 over the Raiders. This was very depressing for Al Davis and the Davis family. Kyle Bowler started the game over Carson Palmer, and he threw 3 interceptions. His first 3 passes, I think, was 1 incomplete and 2 interceptions.
Way to go, Kyle.
And he gets taken out in favor of Carson Palmer, who proceeds to throw 3 interceptions. It was one of the ugliest quarterback. And then, what's his name, got in for a play. Terrell Pryor. He didn't do anything, but he was in for a play. But quarterbacks, 6 picks between them. How do you win a game like that? You don't. You're playing the Chiefs, who are awful, and they just score 28 points, and ugly for the Raiders. Ugly.
Absolutely. That's just a horrible, horrible loss. It's you expect when you're going to Kyle Bowler and a team and a Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer, who hasn't played for a few games, a little while.
Few games. He was retired.
Yeah.
You wake up to a, hey, you're starting tomorrow. It's
Like,
what?
It was just like, you expect a little bit, a lack of quarterback play, good, solid quarterback play, but 6 picks combined. That's just horrid, and that's a bad sign.
Is Jason Campbell that good, Joe?
No, he's not even that good. Okay, I'll give you this. Jason Campbell was kind of coming into his own. He wasn't back to his Auburn self, but he was just managing the game, not really making too many bad decisions.
Not throwing 6 interceptions.
Right, and apparently that's all this team needed.
That's all you need.
Like,
where are you, Brad Gradkowski?
Right.
Come back.
That's right.
Throw your lofty passes.
Seriously. But this is a terrible situation. And if you're the Raiders, you have to play Palmer. You gave up 2 number-1 picks to get him. You better hope he takes you there. You have to play him.
How bad do you have to feel if you're Kyle Bowler?
Yeah.
You just got sit down for someone that hasn't played all season. He was retired, and he's playing over you, who's been on the team the entire year.
That's right.
This is why I believe that if your last name is an occupation, you should be that job. Kyle Bowler should be bowling. Curtis Painter should paint. You obviously can't cut it in the NFL. Get out of the league. Arnold Palmer should sit back and take Carson aside and say, dude, here's some of my tea. Drink it. This is what you should do the rest of your life. Stay retired. Drink my tea. Ryan Leaf should have been a park ranger. It's not that hard, people. God gives you these names. He sets this path, and you just, I'm going to be an NFL quarterback. What are you doing? Guys, successful league, Roethlisberger. That's nothing. You can't go off that. You can't do anything with that. Peyton Manning lucked out. He didn't have to be an ice cream person.
Didn't have to work at
Tom Brady didn't have to go into television because the Brady Bunch has been done before. Drew Brees, thankfully, he doesn't just get blown away.
He didn't have to work with windmills.
Yes. There's people that luck out, but for some, they should realize they're calling soon because it's painful on the eyes.
Right.
By the way, if you wanted to text us, any question, comment, complaint, concern, it's 570-212-9877. That's 212-WUSSER. Feel free to text us questions, comments, wow, you're awful, whatever. We'll read it out on air. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun. Yeah.
Steelers-Cardinals. Steelers moved to 5-2 with a 32-20 win over the 1-5 Cardinals. Not a good Sunday for the Cardinals, and not a good week for Cardinals in general. Any team of Cardinals, not good.
It's true.
Not good, unfortunately. This week, Mendenhall didn't show up again, 32 yards.
Fortunately.
Mike Wallace hit a 95-yard touchdown, which I was fortunate enough to hear while working. I shouldn't have been listening to the game, but it was good timing. Yep. Ben Roethlisberger, the Steelers just are better than the Cardinals. That's really all it was this game.
Yep.
No one really went off. They're just awful.
Exactly. I completely agree.
I just got a text. Tim. As in Tim Tebow. Rams Cowboys, 34-7. Cowboys win. This is where we were talking about 253 yards for, I think it's Derek.
Wait, no, it's DeMarco.
Murray.
I think it's DeMarco. DeMarco Murray, I believe.
253 yards and a touchdown, shattering the Cowboys' all-time rushing record, beating out, I don't know, Emmitt Smith. Just some guy. No big deal.
That is shocking.
Unfortunately for me, I was playing the person that had DeMarco Murray on his team. First off, who would pick up DeMarco Murray? Secondly, what are the odds of me having to play him? Needless to say, I was defeated. Yeah, Cowboys just played normal, and the Rams are ungodly awful.
Yep.
Dear Lord.
I agree.
Freely, quarterback. Who?
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. No Bradford.
Oh, and, man, they're just...
They're awful.
Brandon Lloyd, 74 yards in his debut.
Yeah, right.
One shining moment. Probably wishes he was back in Denver because they won.
And here again, we have the Dallas Cowboys of Texas playing the St. Louis Rams in Texas. This was in Texas. Same day as the Cardinals play the Rangers in Texas. Again, crazy, right?
That's fun.
Yeah,
that's sports.
Yeah, that's sports.
That's nuts. Actually,
it's the second time this happened. This
sports nuts.
When the Brewers played the Packers played the Rams and the Brewers played the Cardinals.
Sports nuts.
Yeah. Sports nuts. Somebody shake the camp.
Nobody's out here. All right. We just got a text in from a Michael. How do you guys feel about 90s retro sports hats? Well, unfortunately for all of you listening on the radio, you can't see the hat that Joe is wearing right now, but he has on a 90s snapback Green Bay Packers retro hat. It's white. It's got Packers written across it with the big NFL logo in the center.
Yes. Has these weird
colored lines
shooting
on the side.
lines. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's a snapback.
It is a snapback. Yep.
And he's got it on with the brim raised.
Yeah, I could do the Jasper Parnevik look.
Yes.
And
so he's rocking it. It's unfortunate y'all can't see. But what do we really think about the hats? I'm ashamed by some people who think that they can wear certain hats and get away with it. Retro San Antonio Spurs. But today we saw retro Colorado Rockies. Todd Helton!
That's funny. That is funny. That's ridiculous.
It's sad.
Yeah.
And the fad is so much. Like, it was fun when you saw a couple, like, oh, that's cool.
Right.
Now you literally can't walk around the University of Scranton campus from one building to the next without seeing some fool in a retro 90s hat, whether it be snapback or fitted. This hat that Joe has was from the 90s. He didn't go out and buy one. Yeah. He happened to have it, and they threw it in his mother's closet, and he found it and got it back. People are going out and purchasing these hats. There are certain exceptions to this rule. If you're wearing a Chicago Bulls retrofitted, okay. Certain teams that were prevalent, Charlotte Hornets, I'm with you. Certain teams that were good in that time period. You're going to wear a Washington Bullets fitted hat? Who is on the Washington Bullets?
Chris Webber, Juwan Howard.
Chris Webber. That's it. Did you know that, people listening? No, you had no idea. Somebody had a retro Michael Jordan Bullets jersey. Burned at the stake. That should be burned a la LeBron's jerseys when he left Cleveland in a ceremony. But retro hats shouldn't go on most of the people that wear them.
Yeah, I don't get why it's a fad. That makes absolutely no sense. I saw that happening, and like, everybody's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is doing it. I saw, I think, a Flyers one most recently.
That's it?
That most
You're
recently.
Lucky.
Oh, I've seen more. I've seen a Flyers one most recently. It was staring me in the face in one of my classes, and I was just like, wow.
I don't know who started the fad.
Exactly.
But it's gone off like silly bands, and I hope it ends. Because here was myself. I purchased a Yankees hat, a normal one, but it had the World Series patch on the side from 1996. That's retro. 96.
Right.
I thought I was wearing a nice retro hat. No. I was wrong, people. Wrong indeed. For my hat to be retro, it has to spell out Yankees, because the symbol that everyone knows and loves is too much for people to handle. And rather than visually see a symbol, they have to read Yankees. I've seen a 90s retro-fitted Yankees hat. Take it off. Take it off. So for Halloween, if you want to be cool, get a 90s fitted. If you're Caucasian, snapback. If you're not, you can go fitted. That's what we do. Joe's got the fitted.
That's right. I've got the snapback.
Snapback.
Yep.
Snapback.
Because I don't think they had fitted hats.
No, I don't think so either. In the 90s,
I'm not sure.
Fitted hats.
I don't know.
And if you had a fitted hat, you were a loser. You had to have snapback.
Fitted?
Now, if you have a snapback, you're not a loser, but you would have been 3 months ago. Anyway, back to football. Speaking of the Packers and their hats, they beat the Vikings 33-27. The Vikings are 1-6. The Packers are undefeated at 7-0. Told you this game would be close. but the Packers win.
You were right. Good call there. Packers came out, didn't really look great, but they realized, we're playing the Vikings, don't worry about it. And that's exactly how I felt, and they're 7-0. Pretty impressive. Not like really impressive, but, Ponder had moments where he looked all right, and he probably would have done better than Donovan McNabb. I'm sure that he came in and he had moments.
He's a thinker, is what he is.
Because
Another
he was
example
pondering
of a quarterback.
Oh boy,
he should be a philosophy major because they get far.
Yep. And Adrian Peterson went off.
Finally, 175 yards, a touchdown. He was running in the third quarter, in the fourth. Things you don't usually see from AP.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he's played his entire life on the Vikings. But yeah, I think it's important for the Vikings to start Ponder. 13 for 32 is really bad.
Yes.
But
yes,
they didn't do too terrible. And again, another guy that needs to get experience if he's going to be your quarterback.
Correct. Yeah.
You got to get him in the game.
Correct.
Donovan McNabb, his career's over with. You're obviously not going to win anything. You're 1-6. Sit him down.
Right. Yep.
Put him on IR with Kerry Collins. They can play Madden together in the clubhouse.
I agree.
Or throw one back. Rally Bears. Sunday night game was fantastic. The Saints and the Colts, Peyton, Drew, Breeze, Manning.
Wait. Whoa.
Wait.
Whoa.
Peyton Manning was there. He was just on the sidelines because he's taking the year off. And we had to be subjected to Curtis Painter. Saints won 62-7. 62-7. 5 touchdowns for Drew Brees. He had 3 in the first quarter. I was with friends watching the game, and my one friend gets text messages, updates, and every 3 minutes, oh my. Her mother is a Colts fan. Very sad day. It was good because we were watching it every once in a while, and we'd see the touchdown and just wait for the beep, beep.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. That was bad. It was bad. Awful. Absolutely awful. And the Saints, you know who they're playing this week? The Rams. They could score more than 62 points if they wanted. Drew Brees, I don't even think played the second half. He didn't need to.
This is just
I needed Lance Moore to get me like 3 or 4 touchdowns for my fantasy team, and he had 1 catch. 62 points, you couldn't throw one to Lance? Come on! Lance, get everybody in there. No. The Colts are god-awful, though.
That's the thing. I know that Peyton Manning is out, but Peyton Manning never played defense.
No.
62
I mean, he tried a couple
points.
times. He run after somebody and intercepted him, and then he's like,
Like Saints
62.
Saints have a high-powered offense, but 62 points, there's no excuse.
The red zone defense for the Colts was horrible, and that's when the Saints scored. They'd get in the red zone and just touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Yep.
So I don't know. You have to wonder if it's the defense is kind of like they don't have the motivation that Peyton Manning's out, because what does it matter if we stop them? We're not going to score. Why are we killing ourselves to have Curtis Painter lead us down the field? Please. So they could be thinking that. I don't think that's the case, but you have to wonder now at 0-7, why are we even playing these games? Why are we getting up to play? Luckily, they're in a division where they're not out of it.
That's true.
It's frightening.
Never.
Jaguars-Ravens, Monday night. This one was something else. You have the high-powered offense with the Jaguars, the defense of the Ravens, high-powered game. Maybe it was just because I drank 9 Monsters before the game so I could feel something while watching it. But it was high-powered for me, Joe. 12-7, Jaguars over the Ravens.
Oh, my God.
Gabbert. Flacco.
That's just
Did you watch
embarrassing. No, I was watching the Cardinals.
You were lucky. You were one of the few, I think.
Yeah.
But good.
Yep. Guess it was best.
It was awful.
I can't believe. I think the Ravens didn't have a first down for the first 40 minutes of the game.
That's true.
losing to the Jaguars?
The Jaguars?
It doesn't make it. Okay, the Ravens have lost to 2 teams this year, the Titans and the Jaguars. And they have beaten much better teams.
I don't understand how that happens.
I don't get it. I don't understand. But once again, another horrible Monday Night Football game where it's just laughable. Would have rather gone see a high school football game.
There hasn't been a good Monday Night Football game the entire season yet.
That's true. Yep.
And maybe it's because that song is on the beginning, but that's probably not it. A lot of people say that Joe Flacco could lead the Ravens to the Super Bowl. Bull. Not happening.
No first down. The first 40 minutes against the
Jaguars. First downs.
Against the Jacksonville
and Ray
Jaguars.
Rice is fumbling like it's his job too. So he couldn't rely on either of them. The only way that the Ravens will do well is if their defense scores for them and their special team scores for them. And the Ravens defense didn't make any miraculous plays. They had strips and they'd get the ball back and then the offense would do nothing. So they had no pick sixes. They didn't win.
Yep.
Awful.
Awful
game.
That's horrid. Yep.
Please, hope this Monday night game is worthwhile. Pick 'em time. Colts, Titans. Titans win. Good for you, Titans. I'm not picking the Colts the rest of the season. I don't care if Peyton Manning comes back. I will not pick them. They could be playing Holy Cross, and I will not pick them. And by that, we mean high school, not college.
High school, yep.
Saints, Rams. As we said, Drew Brees is just going to, oh my.
Yeah.
They don't even want to see the game.
Yeah, Saints win. That's an easy pick.
Here we go. Dolphins, Giants. Dolphins don't have a win. Even Reggie Bush said the team's horrible, and he knows what he's talking about when he talks horrible because he is. Giants win.
Yeah, Giants win. Absolutely.
Vikings, Panthers. Cam, 2 in a row.
Yep, I agree. I'm gonna go with Cam.
Cam.
Yep.
He's actually their leading rusher. That's unfortunate for the Panthers. And great for all fantasy owners who have D'Angelo Williams or that other guy.
That's true.
Whoever it is. They were the
John Stewart.
John Stewart. They were the tandem a couple years ago. If you had either of them, they had 100 yards a game.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
It's ridiculous.
Because the running game is gone from the NFL.
Yep, I have D'Angelo Williams. That's
I have James Starks.
He had 73 yards this week.
I had Matt Forte, or not Matt Forte, Marion Barber, and he got me a touchdown. It was a bye week for my running backs. It was a sad day, but I had him in and he got a touchdown. Marion.
Hey, Barber.
Cardinals, Ravens. Ravens win. Shockingly.
The Cardinals win because they're terrible, and the Ravens only like to lose to terrible teams. I'm picking the Cardinals in this game.
Ravens are at home. They got it. That's unfortunate for the Cardinals. If it was in Arizona, they would probably win.
No. Cardinals this week. Yep.
Jaguars, Texans. Texans.
Yeah, I think the Texans win. I think the Jaguars, that's one of the few wins they'll get last week.
Here's a good one. Redskins, Bills. I'm going to go with the Bills. I think the Redskins are starting to have a downward spiral. Sexy Rexy is very ugly right now. He's lost his mojo. He won't be playing.
Yep.
And
going to Beck.
Red Jackson.
Yep, exactly. I'm going with the Bills as well. Pretty much the same reasons. The Redskins seem to be crumbling, and the Bills haven't crumbled yet. Kind of losing a few games, but not crumbling.
Lions, Broncos. Go with the Lions.
Yeah, I'm going with the Lions as well.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
But don't be surprised if Tim leads them to victory. Don't. Patriots, Steelers. Finally a good game. This will actually be a good game. I got to go with the Patriots. I just like their offense overall a lot better than the Steelers' offense. I still think the Steelers haven't done anything. They've just won because Ben Roethlisberger will throw for 5 touchdowns or Mendenhall will run for 145 yards. Both of them haven't done well on a given week yet. Patriots do that every week.
Right, yeah, I think with the Patriots' consistency, they will definitely win. They're still one of the premier teams in this league, you know, at 5-1 now. Until the Steelers prove that they can beat a really good team, I can't pick the Steelers.
Browns, 49ers. I'm going to go with the 49ers. Heads up for the post-game handshake.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Niners as well, and I'm going to go with a normal handshake.
Normal handshake,
yes.
a good game. Mm-hmm. That'll be that.
Yep.
Bengals Seahawks. Hold on your hats. Adam Dalton leading the team over the Seahawks. Over whoever they had in.
Whitehurst.
Whitehurst.
Carson who? Bengals win.
Cowboys, Eagles. Look at see, this is difficult because every time I won the Eagles this year when they should have won, they didn't.
And you like when that happens.
I do, and
yes.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys just to be a prick. Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles here. You know, it's a big game for the Cowboys, and Tony Romo. It's gonna be close. That means Tony Romo's gonna crumble.
Maybe after the bye week, the Eagles will remember how to play football. Chargers Chiefs Monday night. Will this be a good game? Not really.
No.
No, not really.
No.
I'll go with the Chargers reluctantly because I still can't name more than 3 players on the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers. Even though the Chiefs have been kind of coming on a little of late, I'm going to go with the Chargers. The words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, go Chargers, go.
Bye weeks, Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, Oakland, the Jets, and Bucks. Have a nice, relaxing bye week.
I will, thank you.
Please don't drink in the clubhouse or locker rooms while watching the game. That's the end of that. That's our show for the week. So we'll be back next week, same time, same place, same frequency. We'll have our World Series wrap-up. We'll bring you more Tebow. We'll bring you more Cam. And whatever else exciting happens, maybe there'll be an NBA season, but there won't. So, we'll be back next week, same time, same place, same frequency, on the Royal Television Network at 99.5 WSR Scranton. I am John.
I'm Joe.
That's how we do it. See you next week. Thanks for listening.
Roller coaster.